All right, greetings. Welcome back to Black Bear News, where everything is connected. What is going on? How y'all doing? We're live on Rockfin, Rumble, and on YouTube. A couple of people up in the Rumble chat. What's up, Denver? Old as dirt. Some people floating in. Don't know if anybody's on Rumble yet. All right. Do I need to hear the intro song again? Well, greetings. Good to see you. And Malcolm Young, glad to be here. Glad that you're here. Right on. So many things to cover. I really wish I could do a long format show, y'all. I mean, would you guys be interested in that? I probably wouldn't be able to do it every day. Good comment on yesterday's video, Denver. I don't know. Would y'all be into like a 2 or 3 hour Black Bear News? Maybe once a week or a couple times a week? I don't know. I guess the appeal of a longer show, it's so hard to cover anything in an hour. Although it just depends on what people have the attention span for. But I think people like longer format shows because people can, I don't know, dig into the weeds, settle in, really get a broad overview. Malcolm Young says yes to a meaty show. I personally mostly listen to long format shows. Mostly. Sometimes I catch a bunch of little TikTok-y type things. And sometimes I just want to get a little information on something and get out. I don't know. But the long format shows is where you can kind of lean in. Did everybody attend or participate or contribute to the fundraiser for Shonda this weekend on Saturday? Hope y'all did. I was in at the beginning. And I tried to catch a little bit of the later part of the show, but I had to move on to the other parts of my day. Yeah, the bummer about actually like working is that I don't have time to just kind of listen to a bunch of shows. Judy says there's 50,000 watchers of agenda-free TV. Like watchers in the moment or subscribers or viewers? I don't understand. I don't know. Well, seeing as time is short, let's get into it because there's so many things to talk about. And there's quite a few things happening. October is already looking very, very busy. October's already jumping. You know. Okay. There's a lot. I mean, the damage from Helene is actually so so massive that it is actually crossed. It's actually broken out of the little thought bubbles, right? The little culture bubbles. Because usually when you have like it appears to be worse than Katrina, it may be. I saw some really terrible videos of people being trapped on roofs, and few people. They're not really talking about a death toll, but there is a death toll. There will be a death toll. And the damage is massive. And again, it's so massive that left, right, and center are talking about the devastation. So massive that the people that don't like to talk about the weather, or just call climate change the weather, they're actually paying attention to it. And there's all theories are now out there. All the theories and all the, what did I see? But this several days of ongoing disaster, and people are cut off, and people have no food and water, and people are digging out of the damage, and it has been really devastating. What happened here? Sorry, I lost my place on the rock fin. All right, you guys are still here. That's cool. Yeah, I saw that, Denver, and I've seen. Oh, you threw some money at Sean. That's cool. Thanks, Denver. I saw the videos about the lithium mine. There's also, what is it, the quartz mine too? Is that right? Are people drawing attention? I don't know. Sure. Maybe all these ideas are at play. But, the main thing is that people are devastated. And some people are a little upset about the response from the Biden administration. I'm trying to figure out. There's a video going around from Joe Biden saying no, there'll be no more money. But what he said actually in the video, so just to tamp down a little bit on the, again, there are very contradictory things going on, because the Biden administration sent, another couple of billion dollars to Ukraine, and then said that there was a cutoff for aid for victims of Helene. I don't know what the number is, but what he did say in the video was, he said there was a predetermined package before they even requested the emergency aid. They had already put a package together. So they did put a package of aid together, and he said, but there'll be no more than that. And so people are upset that he said there'll be no more aid. But there was some aid, right? He didn't say there's no aid. He said there was a predetermined amount, and that would be no more than that. So just for clarity's sake, it wasn't that they're not doing anything. That's actually not true. They are doing something. Question is whether it's enough, right? Whether the response is adequate. But here's a post from Douglas Mackey. It's bad out there, folks. And this is someone saying, this is an update I just got from my lineman friend in Asheville. Went up Old Fort Road where it connects to number 9. Whole area is gone. 100-foot ravine where houses used to sit. Kids walking around naked, asking where their parents are at. People begging for water. Black Hawk helicopters from FEMA. I don't want to talk about the smell of the dead bodies. I'm in disbelief. It sounds pretty bad. Oh, Jesus. Hate when that happens. By the way, it's getting warm in here. What's happening to Rockfin? What's happening, Rockfin? Am I missing something here? Okay. You guys still good on Rockfin? Rockfin is being funny. Hold on. What's going on? It's kind of warm again today. We're getting another heat wave. Or I don't know if we call it a heat wave, but it's a warm spell. Holy shit. I'm sorry. The Rockfin page is just completely frozen. So give me a moment. If you're on Rockfin, I'm sorry. Come on, Rockfin, where are you at? Are you here? Are you going? Are we here? Are we live? Can you guys see me? I assume you can. Okay, we're here. We're still here. Okay, good. I was able to get some great ground video in Chimney Rock, North Carolina. This afternoon, a gorgeous mountain tourist town near Lake Lure that was all but washed away by Hurricane Helene. This will be a sad thread for anyone who loves West North Carolina. The homes on the other side of the water from Chimney Rock Village have walls completely sheared off. Some look like they're about to fall in the water. Damage to the village of Chimney Rock itself is catastrophic. Mayor Peter O'Leary told me our economy is 100% tourism, and it's 100% gone. Every single structure in the town is either destroyed or severely damaged. The roadsides and concrete in the center of town are cracked and crumbling, which is why we couldn't stay for long. And we're asked to stay in the center of the lanes. Water used to be directly below many of these spots. Now it's a 40-foot drop in some places. I don't understand that one. Anyways. Sky Zoom. Let's see. Lake Lure Flowering Bridge was washed out. Memorial Highway Bridge next to it was covered in logs that looked like matchsticks sticking out of a box. Up close, it is even more overwhelming. You guys want to see the video about the lithium mine? I don't. It's actually gotten a lot of traction. I don't know, but there's always these theories on, how they're, conjuring up these disasters in order to push people out or take over an area, which is, could be. You have Maui, right? The Maui, famously the Maui fire. They were trying to say that about Acapulco last year, but now Acapulco got hit again by another hurricane. And so, the theories might hold some water, but it doesn't make a lot of sense if you're trying to clear people out, declare a disaster area and take over a certain area. But if you continue to be hit by major disasters, then it doesn't really, kind of blows the theory out of the water, pun intended. And also, maybe in some cases, there's a. Oh, okay, I'll fix the mic crackle. Hello, hello. Yeah, you guys, yelling at me that there's no sound isn't really gonna. I'm glad to know that there's no sound. I just, I, I know there's no sound, but I can't. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. I know what's happening. Shit. Hold on one second, guys. Let's quit. Thank you. All right. Hello. All right. I was trying to figure out what was going on. What happened was I accidentally opened up iMovie, and it just ate up like every single resource on my computer to do that. And so I overwhelmed everything, and I didn't realize it was just like overwhelming everything. Okay. So we should be back. It just froze everything up. Dang it! Now I lost my place. I don't know what I'm talking about. What was I saying? I'm not sure. Oh, we were talking about it. No, we were talking about the theories on generating weather events in order to take over areas in order to dominate economically, kind of kick people out, buy people out. Well, again, I'm not saying that weather modification or weather manipulation is definitely a tool in the toolbox of the people in charge. So it's hard to discern sometimes whether something is this or not. And who was it in the chats asked me, I'm not saying that I believe this necessarily. I'm saying I'm taking all the information in. Gene said, if you have any scientific proof that this is not about a heating of a chaotic planet, show me the evidence. But I'm not saying that I believe that this is what is. I'm leaning more towards climate change, honestly. This, to me, yeah, it does serve you right for updating, Bella. That's what you got. I was really worried when last time I updated. Well, the other thing that makes me skeptical about the thing on the side of skepticism around the plots is that, well, first of all, you ruin the economy when you do that. And the economy is paramount. we already know that. The economy and being able to scrape whatever taxes or income or right. It's like the economy turns along, and the people with all the money and the power just like scrape their cut off, and that's how they get all the money and the power, right? And the whole system is built on them devising plans in order to allow them or facilitate them scraping the money, the tax, taxing every little part, or service feeing every little part of the economy in order to collect their billions of dollars, right? That's why Elon Musk is so frightened. Why Elon Musk's hair is on fire about the population going down, because he knows that it's all about, consumption, producing and consuming, and producing, buying, throwing away, and the cycle continues. So when you're talking about upending people's lives and pushing them out of an area and destroying the economy, I'm just like, well, how does that help the the people in charge, because you're taking away a taxable base of people. You're taking away a whole consumer class. Right? You want to mine lithium in order to what? Sell cars. You want to mine lithium in order to what? To sell cars and computers and all the gadgets and the things, right? And you're going to sell those to who? To people. Right? You see where I'm going with this? Right? The whole purpose of getting control or getting this lithium mine, or, taking over, is to control the resources. But those resources are used in order to inevitably help people consume more resources. So if you're, if the evil plan is to kill off all the people or drive them away or destroy the economy, then it doesn't really make any, that doesn't line up. You know what I'm saying? So that's the catch. That's the skeptical catch for me in my brain around these ideas. When people bring, I'm certainly, I'm not unable to understand the conspiratorial idea. Like that I am. You don't doubt that I am totally able and considering the possibilities of it. I fully consider the possibilities of it, but the part where I get hung up is like, well, if you destroy the planet, like if you destroy everything, in your path, or poison all the land, or poison all the people, or make commerce and the moving of goods around, and the what I'm saying? If you make the system inoperable, well, then the system doesn't operate in your favor anymore. And that to me doesn't make any sense. That's where the conspiracy just is like, well, okay, no. Anyways, that's all. And the other part of it for me, I can see it working on a small, limited, regional, scale. Some of these like conspiratorial like takeover plans. I can see that, but I just can't see on a major scale how that actually helps the people in charge. It just doesn't. And so, when we're talking about global devastation, which we are absolutely seeing in this moment, we are seeing this isn't just about Helene. And it's funny to me because there are all these theories about Otis in Acapulco, less than a year ago, and how it was a conjuring. And Acapulco just got whacked again, just as strongly. And I hear nobody talking about that, right? Because everybody's focused on Helene. But I'm like, didn't you see that? Right? So it's just like whatever's in everybody's viewfinder gets all the attention and gets all the conspiratorial attention. And when it's not in your viewfinder, you're like, whatever. It's just another storm. Right? Then it's not a conspiracy because it's just not big enough to get your attention or get somebody's attention enough to like, well, I'm going to do a deep dive on this. But, again, I'm a fan of leaving theories on the table. Not necessarily, I'm not a fan of like debunking, because what that means is like, well, this cannot be true. This theory or that theory cannot be true. I don't like to think that way. I like to think like, well, oh, stop talking to me. Stop calling me. I like to think that a theory could partially be true or could be in play, or could be considered, but not totally, wiped off the table and locked away and pushed away and absolutely false. No, most of life doesn't operate that way. Things are not 100% false or true. It's often like, well, there's a kernel of truth here, level of falseness here. Sometimes it's on the percentage, 20%, 50%, 80%. Whatever. It's not, life is not black and white. Okay. Do you want to see the lithium mine video? Anybody? Did you post it, Denver? Or did you already link it? The car does look like it went through a metal masher. I'm just trying to see if you already posted it, Denver, but I know you posted a bunch of things about the lithium project. Where is it? Okay, we might as well watch it while we're here. I have other things to cover. Did I mention it's warm here again? We have another, it's supposed to be 98 degrees today, 99 tomorrow, up to 100 on Sunday. So every day for the next, what is that? 8 days, it's going to be in the high 90s, and we'll just call that 100 because when it says 97, 98, 99, we'll just call it 100. I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find this video. It was everywhere this morning. We'll watch it. I mean, there are a lot of people convinced that it was not a naturally occurring event, and there's things and things. Okay. People showing me flashing lights on a video, I'm sorry. Unless I see the source material, it's very easy to debunk that. Just somebody showing you, a video of a hurricane. Watch when the lights flash right here. No. I mean, you really have to make sure that video is what, where is that sourced from? How many, it's super easy to manipulate that kind of stuff. So that has to be high level of skepticism on those videos, right? Okay, we'll watch this video. This lady has a lot of traction today. Come on.
And the DOD just entered into. Can I tell you what I find suspicious as shit? That one of the areas affected by Hurricane Helene is the world's largest lithium deposit, and the DOD just entered into an agreement with this company right here to mine lithium for electric cars starting in 2025. Now that area is completely devastated. This is a $90 million agreement between the DOD and this company right here to get Kings Mountain, North Carolina lithium mine up and running by 2030. If that area has been inundated, is in a disaster zone, then the government can come in and do eminent domain, and they can pay you what it was worth 5 years ago rather than what it's worth right now. Imagine that your home has turned into a watery lot and the government comes to you and says, hey, I'll pay you what you paid for it. You're gonna take it and you're gonna go, right? What do you think's gonna happen right here now that they want this lithium mine up and running by 2025, 2030 at the latest? Back in 1947, we had the Florida-Georgia hurricane, or Hurricane 9, and it was the first hurricane to be targeted for weather modification. What happened was General Electric, the US Navy, the Army, the Air Force, they poured dry ice into this hurricane using airplanes to see what would happen. Would they slow it down? Well, what happened was it slowed down a little bit, but it turned west really sharp. Let me show you. This is the path that the hurricane took in 1947. Does it look similar to you? Probably not. It's a coincidence, right? Moving on. I'm sure this is just another coincidence, but do you know who owns the most shares in that lithium mine? BlackRock and Vanguard.
Well, they kind of own everything. I mean, we can expect, whenever you say who owns fill in the blank, you could go BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard. Because they literally own shares in pretty much every company, any major corporation on the planet. They own some controlling stake. So all roads lead to BlackRock. Pretty much. Again, I'm not, the ability. Gregory says lots of burned up electric cars from flooding in the USA. Yeah. Or maybe these are just economic generators, right? Maybe they see disasters as, this is a way to get people to replace their cars and their houses and buy more stuff and do, rebuild. It's a lot of money generation and rebuilding, right? And the whole, you're going to send in a bunch of FEMA money, right? It's just a big money go around, I mean, it could be as simple as that. I don't know. I'm up for all theories, but and I also know that there's been a lot of experimentation with weather modification, and that cannot be ruled out or whizzed away with like, oh, that's crazy you talk. You can't do that because that's just not true. You can't say like, oh, pshaw, that's not happening. Well, we know that they've really worked that out too, so it could be happening. It could be. Exactly, Denver, disaster capitalism. There's a woman appealing to the Biden administration. Man, it's already late, but I know we had a couple of interruptions, so I'm trying to get through the rest quickly. This woman has family trapped in Spruce Pine, North Carolina for 4 days. She just called out the Biden and Harris live on NBC.
Do you think the government is doing enough?
Honestly, I don't know how you did not have a formal press conference or something from either President Biden or Kamala Harris. I mean, how do you not say anything for 4 days? They've been stranded for 4 days, and this is the first we've heard from them at all. FEMA is not on the ground there at all. They are not in these cities, not in these towns, and not in these villages.
Does your relative have food? Does she have water? Does she have the medication she needs?
They have a minimal amount of water. They have a minimal amount of food. They were able to get slightly down the mountain to get a little bit of gas, but they haven't been able to cut their way out yet.
When you say cut their way out, what do you mean?
There's trees down. You have to have chainsaws up there to get the trees out of the roads. And that is if the mudslides didn't take the roads out completely. I can not even tell you how many families, even here outside of Charlotte, that are looking for their loved ones up in that area. No one knows anything.
Okay. And there is, there is a lack of, seems like a lack of response. So, and there's, I won't find it because we don't have time, but Trump is actually there, like, doing a campaign stop, basically going out and shaking hands and talking to people, and Biden and Harris are kind of MIA. So that's not really a great look for them. I mean, Trump is just being a politician, but he's showing his face, which.
Do you think the government is doing enough?
NBC is a major outlet, and they're being called out for failure. So, and he probably is throwing paper towel rolls. Yes. Okay. Last I wanted to show on this, and this is extremely ironic. This is a news report about Asheville being one of the best places to escape the ravages of climate change. So we're going to watch this.
When it comes to climate, the mountains have always been an attractive place to live, and now even more so with climate change making severe weather events even worse elsewhere. Climate change leading to climate migration.
Weather events are becoming crazy all over the world, and there's places where they're less crazy. Asheville's fortunate to be one of those places.
Now more people taking refuge in the temperate mountains of western North Carolina. This real estate broker saying he's hearing that climate is a big reason why people are moving here.
I think people have noticed and are moving here to escape wildfires, to escape floods, to escape hurricanes, to escape droughts.
Scott Shuford is a local expert in community planning and resilience.
Our big three issues of climate change affecting North Carolina are sea level rise, which clearly we're not having a problem with that, but also heavy precipitation and periods of drought.
He says those don't affect us in Asheville as much since we're far from the coast, have the North Fork Reservoir for our water supply, and the elevation to keep our temperatures mild. Not immune to climate change, of course, just less susceptible. And he doesn't think we're anywhere near the peak of climate migration.
Okay. Oh no, Bella, I don't want him in office. It seems like the Democrats want him in office. It seems like the Democrats are doing like, they're like, how bad can we get? How horrible can we look? You know? That's what it seems like to me. I don't, I just want somebody to to look like they care about or not look, to actually do, try and do something for people. But, this game of the Democrats, or whatever party, it could be, I feel like 20 years ago it was the Bush administration just saying like, just going like, how horrible can we just grind everything to bits and then we'll just pass it to Obama. Here you go. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Well, we'll all be homeless soon enough if things keep going the way they're going. All right, let's try to get to some other stories before I get out of here. Well, I mean, and again, when I say I'm a little skeptical of the when I say that I'm skeptical of the controlled weather theories, I'm just like, well, what about, there are several other major like devastating floods happening at the same time, pretty much all the time. You want to explain these ones too? I don't know. All of this actually coincides with just the general science on climate change. And so, when you heat the planet, this is what happens, which is kind of, yeah. This is in Turkey. And one more time, Acapulco has been destroyed again. 22 dead or more than that. I mean, I think, yeah, this is insane. For a second time in just 11 months, Acapulco has been destroyed. I don't, I know that it's, I don't know. I mean, it's like we're given two terrible choices and people are really like insistent that one of the choices that one is worse than the other, or they're not working in tandem. I don't know. And honestly, the answer is if I tell you that I'm voting for Jill Stein, are you gonna tell me that I want Trump to win? I don't know. I don't know. What's up, Art? How you doing? Good to see you in the chats. If I told you that I was going to abstain from voting, would you tell me that I'm shirking my duty? I probably will vote for Jill Stein. That's, but that isn't going to, I'll vote for Jill Stein just because, she's way less evil than the two evils we're supposed to choose between. And that's just where I'm voting my conscience. But I, do I think that's going to change anything or help anything? Absolutely not. I don't think it's going to move the needle one iota. We're live on Rumble too. I don't know if anybody's Art's on Rumble. Right on. I didn't see the little Rumble thing in your chat. Thanks for watching on Rumble, Art. It's one of the places you can watch. I'm thinking about. I want to like do another. Well, several things are happening because. Yeah, we haven't even talked about the Iranian missile attack, but we're going to get there real quickly. But I was just going to say. Several things are happening. StreamYard is like literally doubling their prices next month, which is wild. Like, oh, inflation is only 8% unless you're on StreamYard where it's 100%. So I'm going to be trying out maybe the Rumble streaming service. I know that Going South has been urging me to do that. I just haven't found the time to like figure it out. I know it's probably not even that hard. It's probably like 3 clicks of a button, but I'd like to maybe try and stream to some other places and leave YouTube. But if I do that, then, is everybody going to not watch the show? Or are you guys going to watch elsewhere? Y'all are pretty good about watching on Rockfin. Pretty good. But if I went to like BitChute and Rumble and Rockfin, would it matter? I don't know. I uploaded a music video to my TikTok yesterday that just had cuts of like what's happening in Gaza and the protests around Palestine, and it was removed. It wasn't even really controversial. It was just footage of a few things that were happening in Israel, and they removed it. Imagine that. But the censoriousness of YouTube and TikTok and other channels is probably going to get a lot louder and a lot stronger. And so I would like to be able to stream to places where I'm not censored and where I don't feel like I'm helping the, Rumble's a little iffy because I feel like I'm helping the machine a little bit because it's a kind of a fake free speech thing, It's kind of like X is kind of like a fake free speech thing, It's free speech for now. It's free speech adjacent for now until they decide it's not. You still can be banned and censored and stuff on X, but even though it's a super free speechy type place. Same with Rumble. Anyways. But I don't know. All right. Yeah. So people are very concerned about what's happening in the Middle East because things seem to be. I mean, well, actually, Israel has basically started a land war in Lebanon. I mean, there's a lot of talk about Iran launching a missile attack. IDF says most of estimated 180 missiles fired from Iran were intercepted. So that's a lot of missiles. The UN Secretary General condemns escalation after escalation. There was a mass shooting in Tel Aviv. seems to be legit. I tried to do some checking of this, because you never know. You really have to check everything you see on X. Yemen was attacked too, Bella? Okay. Yeah, I mean, there is definitely an escalation going on. And there's very little information on this mass shooting in Tel Aviv, but there are dead on the ground. I'm trying to find my link for Israel has started deploying troops across the border in Lebanon. So that's definitely an escalation, let's see. Here it is. Overall, not looking good. However, there is an offer from multiple Arab nations for a peace deal. If only Israel would accept. It's funny. As soon as I said I was going to leave YouTube, all of a sudden my view count went up. The number of people watching went up. That's interesting. I don't know. Maybe just happenstance. Israel launches ground invasion into southern Lebanon. In accordance with a decision, this is from the IDF. A few hours ago, the IDF began limited, localized, and targeted ground raids based on precise intelligence. Ground raids against Hezbollah. These targets are located in villages close to the border. Air Force and artillery are supporting the ground forces. Operations were approved and carried out in accordance with a decision of the political echelon. Operation Northern Arrows will continue according to the situational assessment and in parallel to combat in Gaza and other arenas. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, no doubt. I mean, Trump is a big old, he loves netting. He loves him some netting. What do you do? They both love them some netting. You can't get away from him either way. What do you do? But this is of interest as well. Again, you actually have to have a willing and workable party to work this kind of thing out. 57 Arab and Muslim countries offer Israel a peace deal. Guaranteed security in exchange for a Palestinian state and an end of occupation. That will never come to pass. The Palestinian state is a non-starter. Even though they say, like, well, sure, we want a two-state solution. They don't. It's kind of like saying, sure, we want, Medicare for all. No, they don't.
I want to add one sentence. The Israeli Prime Minister came here today and said that Israel is surrounded by those who want to destroy it, an enemy. We're here, members of a Muslim Arab committee mandated by 57 Arab and Muslim countries. And I can tell you here, very unequivocally, all of us are willing to, right now, guarantee the security of Israel in the context of Israel ending the occupation and allowing for the emergence of a Palestinian state, independent state, along the efforts that we all agree. He is creating that danger because he simply does not want the two-state solution. And if he does not want the two-state solution, can you ask the Israeli officials, what is their end game? other than just wars and wars and wars. I'm telling you, all of us in the Arab world here, we want a peace in which Israel lives in peace and security, accepted, normalized with all Arab countries in the context of ending the occupation, withdrawing from Arab territory, allowing for the emergence of an independent sovereign Palestinian state on June 4, 1967, lies with occupied Jerusalem as capital. That is our narrative. That is, and we will guarantee Israel's security.
Okay. So they're saying, hey, they're calling them out. They're calling Israel out. They're actually, this isn't the first time. This isn't new. They've offered several deals, several ceasefire, willingness to exchange hostages and come to terms on a ceasefire. It is Israel who is not cooperating. Israel, backed and supported by the U.S., who is not cooperating, even though the U.S. is saying, well, they would like a ceasefire, but not so much. I mean, not enough to pressure them, not enough to withhold aid or billions in weaponry, not enough to stop shipping them billions in weaponry, not enough to say they don't support them anymore. I mean, we're literally sending, National Guard from Tennessee was just deployed to the Middle East. We're sending more troops and more weapons there while saying that, we're working around the clock for a ceasefire. Why do you say that, Max? Inquiring minds want to know. Anyways, it's grim. It's grim. There was a huge chemical fire in Atlanta during the crisis. By the way, speaking of money, if you want to support the show, there are lots of ways to support the show. If you want the show to continue, if you like the show coming to you for free $3.99 from Monday through Friday and sometimes on the weekends, if you'd like to support the show, there are lots of ways to do it. Please do not tip on Rockfin at the moment. Please do not tip on YouTube at the moment. If you want to support, please use the direct donate links that are in the description box. That would be the best thing. Oh, because I'm going to quit YouTube. Oh, well, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not saying that I'm going to quit. I'm saying I'm considering. I'm actually asking you guys too, like, will you follow me to some other platforms? I know that I cannot please everyone. If I ask everybody what their favorite time for me to go live is, I would get probably 15 different answers, and there's just no way for me to appeal to everyone. So I don't know what to do. I'm just trying to do the best as far as like getting a message out and being able to talk about everything. YouTube is pretty not very friendly to me. So, I would like to stay on YouTube if they weren't trying to just, to destroy me. So I don't know. Yeah, Malcolm, actually, that's what I would like to do. Ultimately, that's what I'd like to do. It's a matter of like all the logistics, but I'm not quitting YouTube yet, Max. I'll let you know. I'll give you plenty of heads up, okay? I promise. So anyways, if y'all want to contribute, you know where to contribute. A lot of you do contribute, and you know who you are, and I appreciate you for your contributions. Don't think I've gotten anything yet today. And was going to talk about this for just a moment. There was a massive chemical fire in Conyers, Georgia. A biolab chemical fire. When the government says most people are unlikely to be in danger, you should be very alarmed. This is probably true. Oh, I see, Max. Okay. I watch Rockfin on my phone, and it works pretty good. You don't even need the app. You can just watch it on a browser. Works pretty good. Anyway, 17,000 were evacuated. 200,000 originally were under shelter-in-place orders. Now has turned into half the state. 570,000 were without power from the hurricane, boil water advisory, etc. And the haze was super thick. But the worst part was they announced that there was chlorine detected in the air, highly, highly toxic. And people were reporting itching skin, burning skin, and other health effects, headaches, blurry vision, etc. So, a very dangerous situation that, of course, the people in charge are not really letting you know the extent of the danger. They did send out an emergency alert. So, not to besmirch their efforts, but should people be maybe more concerned for their health in the face of this? I would say, sure. This is what the
EPA on site. So once we get the product contained, get the situation itself mitigated, and then they will survey the area, the air, and once again we'll send out a public message speaking to whether or not you can return to your home if there's any further cause for concern.
And chlorine was found in the air, so we're going to look at this. Thanks for the link. Denver, chlorine found in air after chemical plant fire. Here's what you know about exposure. Giant plume of heavy fog hangs in the air after a fire at a chemical plant Sunday in Conyers, which is about 30 miles east of Atlanta. The county's emergency management agency asked roughly 17,000 residents living between Sigmund Road and Interstate 20 to evacuate. Oh, my God, come on. Director Sharon Webb said the agency also sent an alert to people living in neighboring Newton County. All residents of Rockdale were strongly advised to bring pets inside, shelter in place with windows closed, air conditioning off, and ceiling fans on. Chlorine helps keep swimming pools clean and healthy, but even at low concentrations, chlorine has the potential to cause serious harm to the hair, skin, and eyes. Chlorine has also been used as a chemical warfare choking agent. A malfunctioned sprinkler head at Biolab's plant came in contact with a water-reactive chemical and produced a plume. A plume, you say. Pretty big plume. Sodium hypochlorite, which is a component of commercial bleaches, cleaning solutions, and disinfectants for drinking water and wastewater purification systems and swimming pools, releases chlorine gas when it contacts acids, according to the CDC. Chronic exposure, usually in the workplace, could corrode teeth. Multiple exposures to chlorine have produced flu-like symptoms and a high risk of developing reactive airways dysfunction syndrome, or RADS. While chlorine has not been classified for carcinogenic effects, are you sure? The association of cigarette smoking and chlorine fumes may increase the risk of cancer. So people are obviously concerned about coming in contact with that. And the mass poisoning of the planet continues. Just to sum up. Just to sum it all up. Anyways, I think that just about does it for me. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Thanks for tuning in. I really do appreciate y'all being here. People of Rumble, people of Rockfin, people of YouTube. I'll see you all tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific. And until next time, peace.